Passive aggressive, passive aggressive, passive aggressive. Passive aggressive, passive aggressive, passive aggressive, passive aggressive. Science, everybody loves science. Leave the males here. Oh no.
But I didn't order any new games or any new, stuff that I get because I play games or whatnot. Let's see.
Oh no. So, the two of you also received this abomination in the mail?
Afraid so.
But what I want to know is who sent this to us.
Agreed. From what I can tell of the package's remains, there is no return address on the box.
I even dusted my copy for prints.
Then maybe we're not looking in the right direction.
Agreed. I've detected something on the DVD that might give us a hint to the sender. Epic fail energy.
You mean that stuff that Charles Roxwell was giving off?
Precisely. But that may just be the natural energy this movie is giving off.
Well, maybe that's not what we're supposed to be looking for either.
Wait. I got it! What if there's something in the movie that we have to watch in order for us to know?
What?
No way. No mystery is worth this much torment. Agreed. After reviewing the likes of Hop and Beverly Hills Chihuahua 3, Husky and I have put reviewing horribly bad movies behind us.
Oh, and I want to do more crossover reviews.
Maybe we still can, Doc. I mean, this was definitely sent to us for a reason. Think about it. I mean, I'm not a reviewer anymore. You only do Let's Plays. It would have made more sense if Leaf had just gotten it. I mean, he's the only reviewer now.
So, then maybe it was a crazy stalker fan who sent us the movie.
No one here wants a crazy stalker fan lurking around the hideout. And even if someone had, I would have found them and hurt them. So unless one of you told someone, then it must have been...
Hello, Crusaders.
Ham!
Zeth.
Seriously, this is like maybe 3 times now that a villain has actually taken over my TV and is trying to threaten me through TV. I'm used to this now.
Not afraid, Menace? You should be.
The man of science. You're always so sure of yourself. Tell me, how long do you expect to fool anyone with that deceptive confidence of yours?
Since when did Clancy become such a tough talker?
The Master. Wait, what?
The Master?
No, you can't be the Master! We stopped Lady Noir from resurrecting you!
Yes, but another has come to my aid, much to even my surprise.
What are you planning this time?
Unfortunately, my year-long stay in the underworld has left me hungry.
Well, Burger King is just down the road. I'm afraid you don't understand as usual, Sean. In order to replenish the Master's full power, we need you 3 to review Birdemic 2 together.
Well, forget that then.
So long as the Master walks the earth, I will never review another bad movie.
Then I guess we'll find someone else to review the film. After all, I'm sure we'll find someone else who has more hatred than you 3.
The Nostalgia Critic, John Tron, practically any YouTuber on the net.
And then, once I have my power back to its highest peak, I'm coming for all of you, starting with my rebellious servants.
Ha! Fat chance! Even if you do get your power back, there's no way you can beat us!
Is that a fact? It seems I recall hearing from Mr. Zamora that you've both temporarily lost your ability to transform into that accursed shining leaf.
Now, what's it gonna be?
Will you review the film as we demand?
Or do other people have to suffer?
Alright, Leaf, you get Cabbage. Menace, you get Todd. I'll get Stephanie. We're gonna need help on this one.
Alright, I guess it's time to dive right into Birdemic 2.
But first, a little backstory for you guys. Birdemic 2: The Resurrection is the sequel to a super low-budget indie film called Birdemic: Shock and Terror. It was about two people who fall in love and then end up in an apocalyptic situation where vultures and eagles begin attacking everyone because of, and I'm not kidding here, global warming. Since its release, it has been called things like the best worst movie ever, going right up there alongside such classics like The Room and Troll 2. But we're not here to review the first film. We're looking at the sequel today. If you want to check out Birdemic: Shock and Terror, you can look up reviews by JonTron, Phalus, or if you want to formulate your own opinions about the film, it can be bought at places like Amazon.com and the like. If you don't care, then on with the review. So the movie, if that's what you even want to call this mess, opens by showing us the famous Hollywood sign.
Just to let the audience know that they can afford to film there now.
We then see this guy walking down Hollywood Boulevard, or Hollywood By, as I like to call it, as the Blandy McBland Bland Times New Roman text credits roll. Aren't they interesting?
The show has an upbeat opening theme.
Yep. Walking. We're walking. Stone-faced walking. Walking. Walking! Never since watching paint dry have I ever seen a title sequence so entertaining. Somebody help us!
I would like to call this movie Walking the Movie. That title actually could work considering that's pretty much what everyone does throughout the entire movie.
Anyway, the cameraman follows, or sort of follows, the guy down the street, apparently failing to keep track of him a few times and even gets sidetracked at one point, as the very lengthy credit sequence finally reaches its end. And yes, we timed it. It took 4.5 minutes.
Hold on. I think I just realized something. Eh? Perhaps there's a reason for these lengthy credit sequences after all.
Do tell.
Taking into consideration all of the people that worked on this film, I'm inclined to believe that this drawn-out opening is just a means of spreading the hate. So even though James Nguyen is still solely responsible for the foundation of this film, he's letting us know that there are other people that we can take our anger out on, and not just him.
That diabolical genius!
Yeah, or maybe the credits are just long because he doesn't know anything about pacing.
Either one makes sense.
Oh, and on a side note, I just love a movie where good chunks of the scenery and people are blurred out. And they're not even blurred out that well. Half the time I can clearly read the numbers that they're supposed to be blurring out.
Wow, that guy has the loudest shoes ever! So yes, in keeping with classic Birdemic tradition, the audio is terrible, though slightly higher quality than it was in the first movie. However, it still doesn't change the fact that this movie is unforgivably awful and will suffer my wrath.
The guy's long walk finally ends when he gets to the restaurant called Happy Ending. Enjoy it while you can, it's the only way you're gonna get in this movie.
Hi.
Hi. Excuse me, miss?
Yes?
Wait a minute, this is the exact opening from the first movie.
Either someone accidentally brought the script from the first movie, or someone intentionally brought the script from the first movie in an attempt to cover up the fact that there was no script for this movie. I'm inclined to believe the latter. Somebody help us!
The guy manages to convince his waitress to audition for his independent film during some awkward small talk concerning her hopeful acting career, and then the protagonist and the leading lady from the first film, whose names I can't remember, show up. So from now on, we'll be referring to them as Protagonist 1 and Blonde 1.
Yeah, it's been a while, huh? After that, you did that Hollywood film, In the Sand, right?
It bombed, because I didn't have creative control. Some of Hollywood's greatest films are indies, like Vertigo, Citizen Kane, and Psycho, because they were produced independently.
Ah, so that's the message this movie is trying to get out. If creators don't have complete control over their movies, then they'll end up sucking.
So, how much money do you need?
$1 million.
$1 million.
Wow, that much?
The next day, Protagonist 2 eats breakfast while watching a news report about blood red rain, birds falling from the sky, and a very echoey news anchor who seems to be reading from a script full of typos. No surprise there.
It rained dead birds. 5,000 birds fell from the sky and were found dead in Beebe, Arkansas, Kentucky. Arkansas, Kentucky. Arkansas, Kentucky.
Arkansas, Kentucky?
Arkansas, Kentucky.
Arkansas, Kentucky. Somebody help! Protagonist 2 meets up with Blonde 2, who has decided to give up acting, even though just yesterday she said she was going to try for the Protagonist 2's movie. He manages to convince her to come back and try out by offering her $1,000 if she doesn't get the part.
So in other words, she could just botch the whole thing and walk off with a cool $1,000.
The perfect crime.
We then head over to the office where Protagonists 1 and 2 are meeting with some investors about the film.
So where are the topless chicks? Right, where are the sex scenes?
And there's no fight scenes, there's no blood, there's no guts.
Sunset Dreams, it's not all about the babes, boobs, and blood.
Well, I guess you got us there. It's not like we're the ones with all the money and could just cancel the deal or something.
We decided to invest $1 million in your movie.
More of this freaking same for the last movie! I can't take it anymore! I gotta eat lava! Give me some lava!
I guess they really did just copy the last movie's script.
Thanks, everyone. We're making a movie.
What the heck is that?
I can't believe it. He mutated into Jim Carrey.
After Blondie's 1 and 2 blandly audition, Protagonist 2 calls Blondie 2 to let her know that she got the part. And even though they're in the same city and talking to each other at the same time, Protagonist 2 is calling her at night while she is receiving the call during the day.
Can it be? Finally! Video evidence of time paradox!
More like a major continuity inconsistency menace. Calm down.
Well, I don't really care because time paradox!
Bye.
My evil plan is progressing perfectly.